Hello everyone, I am Sukit Raj, Assistant Teacher of Social Science, St. Joseph English Medium School, Vijaypur. Dear children, welcome back to our Constitution. This is part 2 video. In this video we will learn preamble and salient features of our Constitution. In the previous video we have learned introduction part. Let us continue the lesson with preamble. Preamble means introduction part of the Constitution. As you know that Indian Constitution has combined feature. Some principles are borrowed from the foreign constitutions like American Bill of Rights, Directive Principle of State Policy, British Act, etc. But remaining articles and preamble part is our own. Preamble part speaks about structure, values, principle and goal of the Constitution. Preamble part is written based on aspiration of Indian people. Let us continue the lesson. Preamble part is also called objective resolution, which means purpose of Constitution. Preamble part is written by our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on December 13, 1946. But this preamble approved by Constituent Assembly on January 22, 1947. Preamble part clearly says that India is a sovereign democratic republican country. It gives importance to social, economical and political justice for Indian citizen. Preamble part is key to understand our Constitution. How jewel or ornament increase beauty of human being, like that only preamble part which increase the beauty of the Constitution. So it is described as jewel of the Constitution. One of the member of Constituent Assembly, K.M. Munshi, who referred it as a political horoscope, because just by reading preamble part we can understand the whole Constitution. Now let us study major principles of preamble part. First line of preamble start with "We the Indian citizen" or "We the people of India", which says that Constitution is created by Indians to fulfill our dreams. Second principle is sovereign, which says that India is a sovereign country and not the under control of other any countries in the world, and not a part of any bloc, either USA or Russia. We have our own foreign policies like non-alignment policy, means staying neutrally without supporting any bloc. Due to this policy, still India oppose war and encourage for the peace in the world. Through 5 years plan, given importance to first, second and third sector, India is going to develop. Third principle of preamble is socialist. Main aim of socialist principle is to create social equality and welfare of all the people. To enable this, DPSP have been added into the Constitution through 42nd Amendment done in 1976. Amendment means making some changes or adding new laws into the Constitution through correction. Through this amendment, land reforms and economic reforms were introduced. Next one, fourth principle is secular. Secular word has been added into the Constitution through 42nd Amendment done in 1976. According to secularism, all the religions are equal. There is no national religion in the country. Citizen can accept, practice and propagate any religion in India. There is no any restriction because of secularism principle. Fifth and last principle of preamble is democratic republic. Main aim of democratic system is securing happiness of every citizen of the country. There is no any discrimination based on religion, caste or gender. Problems are solved through peaceful talk under judicial system. In republic system, sovereign power goes to people because representatives are elected by people of the same country through an election. Head of the state, president also elected by people, but it is an indirect election. As you know that in political science, word state which is equal to nation. So head of the country elected by people of the same country. So people will enjoy their rights in democratic republican system. Totally democratic governments means people's government. Now let us go to another important topic, silent features of our constitution. Here silent means important or major. Totally there are 13 features given in your textbook. Let us study one by one. First one is written and lengthy constitution. Our constitution is in written form. Powers and functions of the legislature, executive and judiciary has been mentioned in the written form. Fundamental rights, duties, directive principle of state policy all are written in the constitution. So that we can read, we can understand and we can amend the constitution when it is necessary. So our constitution is written. In England, Queen also part of the administration, so her every orders are equal to law. This is called unwritten form of constitution, which is opposite to written. Now let us study why Indian constitution has lengthy feature. Originally our constitution consisted of 22 chapters, 8 schedules with 395 articles. But later on, due to many amendments, it has become a lengthy. As you know that amendment means adding a new law into the constitution through an amendment. At present, there are 25 chapters, 12 schedules with 465 articles. Every article has its own sub-articles. So, our constitution has a lengthy feature. So, this is written and lengthy. Second feature of our constitution is partially flexible and partially rigid constitution. Our constitution has combined feature of flexible and rigid. The constitution which can be easily amended is called flexible or simple constitution. To amend the constitution, simple majority is enough, which means support of more than half of strength of each house in the parliament. But another side, it is rigid. Rigid means complicated. Why it is complicated? Because to convert bill to act, have to follow some special procedures. So it takes long time. So it is a rigid constitution. Bill first presented either any house, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. There are 3 readings in each house. After that, based on number of votes, bill may reject or passes to next house. Once if it is reached another house, again they have to follow same procedure as first house. Finally, after the approval of both the houses, bill goes to president. He may accept the bill or reject the bill, or he has one more option. He can resend the bill for the recorrection to the same house. So this is complicated. It takes a long time. So that is why our constitution neither too flexible nor too rigid. You can see in this picture procedure of passing the bill from one house to another house. So after approval of both the houses, finally bill goes to president. So president, he has 3 options. He may accept, he may reject, or he may resend the bill for the recorrection. So that's why our constitution has combined feature, flexible and rigid. Third feature is parliamentary form of government. In parliamentary form of government, sovereign power goes to parliament to protect unity and integrity of the nation. State government or state legislature having power lesser than parliament. But always in parliamentary form of government, executive should be responsible to the legislature at the central and state level. But what is executive? Group of ministers called executive. They are lawmakers and implementers. Legislature consists of all the members of the both houses. While passing any bill, executive members need support of legislature. If they did not support, bill will be rejected. If they withdraw their support from the government, ruling party should be resigned. Once if they lose their majority, that time including Prime Minister or Chief Minister, all the ministers should resign to the government. It is called no confidence motion. So executive need good relationship with legislature every time. So here we can see dependency between executive and legislature. Next one is Republican system. As you know that India has a Republican system of government. Election will play important role in this system. All the representatives are elected through an election, including head of the state, president. As you know that in political science, state meaning is equal to nation. So head of the nation, president also elected by people, so sovereign power goes to people. Let us go to next feature, federal system. Our constitution provides for a federal system of government. As you know that India is a union of states. For easy administrative purpose, there are two types of government as central and state. Administrative powers divided between central and state governments. Central list has 100 subjects, example foreign policy, defense, railway, etc. On this list, only central government can frame laws, and these are major subjects. There are 61 subjects of state list like police, local administration, public order, etc. On state list subject, only state government can make laws. Both central and state governments equally frame the laws on concurrent list subject. There are 52. Example, education, border issue between two states, electricity, etc. When dispute arise between central and state, problems are solved by Supreme Court. Next one is fundamental rights. What is fundamental rights? The rights that the Constitution has given to the people are called fundamental rights. There were 7 fundamental rights in the beginning, but 7th and last one, right to property, has been removed from the Constitution. So at present there are 6 fundamental rights listed in the 3rd part of the Constitution. Article number 12 to 35 deals with the fundamental rights. These rights are official laws. So no law of any government, central or state, or any organization or individual can violate these rights. If violated by government or individual, citizen can appeal to the High Court or Supreme Court, and they can get back their rights. Next feature is fundamental duties. Rights and duties are like two different faces of the same coin. So without duties, rights are having no values. At present, there are 11 fundamental duties have been mentioned in the A part of 4th chapter under Article 51A of our Constitution. Till 2002, there were 10 duties, but in 2002, through 86th Amendment, last duty have been added into the Constitution. According to 11 fundamental duties, parents should provide compulsory education to their children aged between 6 to 14 years. Violence of fundamental duties are punishable under law. Next feature is Directive Principle of State Policy. DPSP have been listed in the 4th schedule of our Constitution. These principles have been borrowed from the Irish Constitution. Main aim of these principles are establishment of social and economic equality, and they are basic and moral principles So it is also called Gandhian principles, because among these some principles encourage Gandhian principles. But these are not compulsory laws like fundamental rights and duties. So the government cannot be questioned by a court of justice if it does not implement them. But when government frame new laws, it should pay attention to these principles. Next feature is independent and centralized judiciary system. Our judiciary system is an independent and centralized. So, courts have the authority or power to give bold judgment to protect the rights of people. Nobody can interfere in the judicial matter, neither legislature nor executive. So, our judiciary is an independent. Now let us study what is centralized system. Supreme Court is highest court in the country. Remaining courts works under Supreme Court called subordinate courts. So this system is called centralized judiciary system. Let us go to next feature, single citizenship. We have single citizenship unlike America. In America, they have dual citizenship system. One is state citizenship, another one is national citizenship they will get. But we have only one citizenship, that is of national citizenship. So main aim of this is to curb provincialism and to promote nationalism among Indian citizens. But what is provincialism? Provincialism, which is opposite to nationalism, which means just thinking about any one particular place or state, special care and love about any one particular place or state, not thinking about country. But nationalism means special love towards our country. So due to single citizenship, all will enjoy equal rights and everyone respect nation first. So this is the reason behind single citizenship. Legislature or parliament can frame rules regarding citizenship. Next one, adult franchise. What is adult and what is franchise? Adult means matured age of human being. That time we will develop our thinking capacity. Franchise means authority or power given by government. So in India, all the citizens who have been completed 18 years of age can exercise their right to vote. So it says that sovereign power of the country are people. 12th feature is bicameral legislature. As you know that central legislature is called parliament, which means law making body. So parliament consists of two houses, as Lok Sabha is called lower house and Rajya Sabha is called upper house. So this system is called bicameral. Let us go to last feature, party system. Political parties are called pillars of democracy because all the representatives contest the election through any one party. There are more than two parties in India, unlike USA. USA has dual party system. That means there are only two parties in America. But in India, we have more than two parties. So this system is called multi-party system. The party which wins the majority of votes in the general election becomes the ruling party, whereas the rest will be the opposition parties. So this is called party system. So children, in this video we learned preamble and silent features of our constitution. In next video we will learn fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSP. Keep watching. Thank you.